Hey there, welcome to Between Two Rods. This is a fishing podcast, and we talk about fishing, life, all kinds of great things. And today we have a really, really awesome topic to talk about, and I got a couple of great guests here with me. But first, I'd like to thank our sponsor, BassTackleSupply.com, for all your freshwater fishing needs. And boy, that is relevant in today's conversation. But to get 10% off at BassTackleSupply.com, use TWORODS for 10% off. And with that, I'll introduce my guest for today. My first guest is Travis Page. You are the coach of the FSU bass fishing team. That's the first time I've said it here on this podcast, right?
Yes, sir.
And then Tim Kessler-Cleary, you are the director of student affairs at FSU Panama City.
Yes, sir.
So guys, how did this come to be? How did you get the idea to launch a collegiate bass fishing team here at FSU PC?
Yeah, I guess from the institutional side, we had seen that our friend Travis here had started a program at Mosley High School and knew that it was up and coming in the area. And you know Dr. Irvin Clark, who just about everybody in this town,
Larger than life.
knows larger than life in every way, came in one day and said, I think this is something that we need to do. Reach out to Coach, which I'll let him talk about in a minute. And from there, it was just meeting, talking through the specifics of it, understanding what it would mean for the institution, obviously, from a retention standpoint, a recruitment standpoint, an engagement standpoint, but also for the area, knowing that the institution that's here to serve this region is listening to the community, is following the trends, is providing an opportunity to engage in the outdoors, and really give students something to look forward to when they're coming to school.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Was there a particular moment where you were like, oh my gosh, we have to do this? Or was it Dr. Clark being like, hey, we're going to do this?
I think the dean had a lot to do with that. I'm pretty sure, Dean Hanna, he's a big staple in this thing too. I think you get him and Big Irv together.
Yes, sir.
Those two right there are two hammers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. So when you set up the program for FSU Panama City, were you looking at other collegiate bass programs, or were you primarily looking at what you'd set up at Mosley?
So I guess kind of to go back whenever he had approached me about doing this, as a matter of fact, whenever he'd called me, we were actually fishing a state tournament, and so it kind of all happened kind of quick. But what we have at Mosley, we have a club side and a tournament side. And now, granted, both of these teams is one team, but we all fish together. But what we do is we actually have, I think we have 10 teams this year that fish at the state level, which means we'll fish Lake Seminole, Palatka, St. John's River, Harris Chain, Okeechobee. We fish all those places and to qualify for the state tournament. But we have anglers that just want to fish. They've never experienced the level of fishing that this is.
Yeah.
I mean, I took some kids the other day who had never even been on Deer Point Lake before. Like, loved to bass fish, and they had caught a bunch of fish, but they'd never been on a bass boat or a boat in general.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
been on a lake fishing. So the whole point of our goal with this, with the high school level, honestly, was to bring this sport back to life. Because a lot, if you're a bass fisherman, you've seen the last 5-6 years, it's kind of went downhill.
Yeah.
You don't see a whole lot of kids anymore dragging a bass boat or a boat in general down the highway going to fish Deer Point. You just don't see it.
The barrier to entry of the cost of it, I think, is something that affects them too. And so I'm glad you're getting kids involved from that standpoint.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy. Actually talking about the cost of things. I wish I'd have been a bass boat salesman a year ago.
Yeah, right.
Because I think we had 5 or 6 kids went out and loved it and went and bought taught dad and their grandma to buying a boat. And the similar things happened at Florida State. So kind of what we done at Florida State was we kind of mirrored what we're doing at Mosley.
Yeah.
We kind of have this club/tournament team. It's a little different at the college level. High school, you have a boat captain that's just they're a coach. So, but at the college level, you don't have that. You're on your own. You've got a team of anglers, whether it be a guy, girl, whichever, 2 girls, 2 guys, it doesn't matter. We actually have one female on our college team. And we're trying to recruit some more in because, believe it or not, man, those girls can fish.
I got 2 daughters, man, 10 and 12, and so by the time they're adults, they're going to be bad bass
good,
fishing.
Man. Listen, Mosley's always accepting, and then we go to Florida State after that. So
there you go.
Great pipeline for them.
Y'all do scholarships. So.
Down the road, that's the plan.
Yeah, we're going to work on our flipping and pitching
now.
This weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we actually, whenever we built the Florida State team, our goal was to have 2 or 3 teams year one that compete at the national level, because we don't just compete in Florida at the college level. We actually compete. Like our first tournament this year is actually going to be in Lake Eufaula. We're gonna
Okay.
because
Nice.
Florida doesn't have like a Florida like Bass Nation College Series that we've really found yet, but Alabama has one, and so they've opened their arms and said, "Hey, you guys come fish with us." You know,
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so that's going to be Lake Eufaula, and then
Yeah.
we're going to go to Lake Martin, then go to Lake Logan Martin, and then championships on Lake Gunnersville.
Nice.
But then also in that schedule, we're also incorporating the Bassmaster Strike King College Series, which is your national deal. The first one's in Okeechobee in January, and then it goes to Texas, then it goes to Oklahoma. You know, so it's kind of all over.
So these are literally the Bassmaster College
Yeah.
Series tournaments that you're fishing in.
Yeah, this is it.
That's awesome.
This is the real deal,
That's
man.
legit, man.
Yeah, starting out strong.
Well, and Tim, I think you were mentioning to me before that, not all of the people that are part of the club are fishing in these tournaments, but, if you're a more entry-level fisherman wanting to learn about bass fishing, it also offers the ability for you to learn from other folks in there, right?
Yeah, 100%. The way it's structured is as a fishing club. So the bass fishing team is a component of that fishing club. So it's open to anybody who's interested. If you've, been on the water your whole life and want to fish, great, come on in. You've never picked up a rod and reel in your life, totally fine too. And whatever your interest is in the sport, we just want to get you involved in it with the hope then becomes a pipeline to the team to say, look, you've gotten your skill set up. You came in perhaps first year, never did it before, did it for a year, got into your second year, you're starting to really get the hang of it, where now you got 2 years, maybe 3, where you can compete at that state and national level. So again, it's providing an opportunity, and if it's something that you want to compete with, great. If it's not, you don't have to. That's totally fine. And what's great with these sort of local deals is that it gives those folks a chance to get on the water, to do it, but not feeling the pressure of trying to fish in a national tournament or being outmatched, where you clearly are not at the same level, where then you get discouraged from participating.
Well, and bass fishing is so technique and mental oriented too. I mean, like being able to develop those skills to get to the point where you can do tournaments, that gives them the opportunity to learn those things and to see what other people are doing. And, I've learned a ton from different bass fishermen I've been around my whole life, and I feel like it's a constant skill that I'm trying to refine. And, tournaments
It
to
never
me,
stops.
no, you never stop learning. And that's the beauty of fishing, is it is a process of learning and, finding people like you guys that, you can pick up a piece of knowledge from and then absorb that and hopefully get better and better as an angler over years.
So what's cool about the college level is actually you're eligible to fish for 5 years.
Oh, nice. Is it college eligibility like any other sport?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, you got to
Nice.
have your GPAs, the grades, the whole nine.
That's cool.
Yep. So what I like about it is even at the high school level, we have the same thing at high school. But there's an accountability there. And that's tell my captains all the time, or coaches, wherever you want to call them. We're not just taking kids fishing; we're molding and creating young adults.
Yeah.
You're teaching them to make decisions on the fly.
Yep.
Trust their gut. But coach them along the way as well. And college is no different.
Yeah, for sure.
What we've done at Florida State is with us mirroring this thing, we've actually got these captains that say, hey, look, man, I want to take a team and I want to teach them. So we have one team, and I say team, we only have a handful of anglers at this first season, and so we only one guy was like, hey, my boss has let me use his boat this season, so that's great. But then there's another team. We got one team, they have their own boat, but there's another team who don't have a boat. So what we've done, we went and found these guys that, hey, man, look, I want to pour into these young people. And so they're going to run that team for us at the local level this year. I mean, obviously, the knowledge that they're still trying to learn and obtain, but they're young. So hopefully in a year, 2 years from now, that they become a hammer, if you will. And we can put those with a guy we got recruited coming in, and then, sky's the limit from there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
No, yeah.
Well, I know y'all know Coach Winston Chester, and one of the things that Coach and I talked about before was just the life lessons that you learn from fishing and being outdoors and connecting to the earth that way. And I think that's something that is a byproduct of what you guys are doing too. Is it's not just the fishing; it's also those life lessons. So I'm glad to hear that you guys are tying in their education and some of those other social aspects into what you do.
Oh yeah. You can look at, and I've told Tim this several times, and even my coaches, I'll say this is so much bigger than just fishing.
Yeah.
To me it is. It's a platform that we get to pour into these young people, to develop the leaders of this community one day.
Yeah. You guys know Pastor Steve Taylor
I
at
do.
Denver Coast Fellowship.
I do.
Steve and I talked a while back, and one of the things that we talked about when we had a conversation like this is, when do you ever get to have that kind of time with somebody where you're on a boat with them and you're there for 4 or 5 hours and you really get to have a conversation, or it might be the car ride where you're riding an hour and 15 minutes out to the boat launch and you just get one-on-one time with somebody. Even that time is special when you're talking about fishing, especially with young folks too.
Oh yeah.
And that's something I look forward to, like with my kids, being able to take them and have that dedicated time where you're focused on the person.
Yeah, especially now where, students are in a digital age, right? I mean, everything is on a phone, computer screen, an iPad, whatever it may be. And giving them an opportunity to be outside, to get on the water, to participate in something that is not just scrolling, right? But to do something where, yes, they're learning a sport, they're learning a technique, but they're learning about being people. Right? They're learning how to talk to folks. They're learning how to be social. The college level, the club side of it is student driven, right? I mean, we've got Coach Page to handle the coaching side of it, but the organizational operation piece is student driven. So that's leadership development that's baked into it. That's problem solving. That's intellectual and social growth. That's all built into it just by participating because you want to fish.
No, I think it's a great program y'all are starting. One of the things about this generation is they're so plugged in all the time. I think there's going to be an innate desire to disconnect and get connected with the real world versus what they've grown up and are accustomed to. So I think your timing is impeccable. I felt that way about this generation for a while.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, it's definitely something where I think you're starting to see this return to, okay, what is there other than this? Because they're digital natives, right? That's their whole life. Returning to the earth, the outdoors. What is there that's outside of this bubble of me, right?
Yeah.
And exploring it, I mean, even if I'm the fishing team or in the fishing club, if someone comes in and says, yeah, I want to give this a shot, and it's not their vibe, but they say, what I did like about that was just being outdoors, great. Yeah. They've gotten something out of it.
I promise you, man, I'm a digital guy and run a digital marketing firm. And when I moved down here to Florida and I got a taste of outdoors life, man, it's infectious. It gets a hold of you. And, man, you start catching bass, well, it does something to you. I told you, Tim, I think bass fishermen are a different breed, man. Because once you become a bass fisherman and that is your thing, like, boy, it controls you.
Yeah, well, I think that's why we're so lucky to have this guy. And I'm going to blow some smoke for you for a minute here, buddy, is that he's that guy, right? This is he's done this for years. He's got the technique, he's got the skill, he's got the love for the outdoors, for the sport. And having somebody like that who's able to mentor these students at the high school and college level, to be able to say, look, this is something that brings me joy that I want you to find joy. I mean, you can't put a price on that, and having that kind of mentality and it's rubbed off on all of us. I mean, I'm not a bass guy. We were talking earlier. I'm not a bass guy by trade, right?
Not a bass guy yet.
I'm not yet. I'm very quickly. I've learned more about bass fishing in the last 3-4 months than I knew the rest of my life and coming from New Jersey, right? But there's no question. I mean, there's a love for it.
Mike Iaconelli, he's from New Jersey.
Yes, he is. It exists. It exists.
Listen, Mike, I don't know if you know who. I'm sure you know who Mike Iaconelli is.
Yeah.
Like, so I told Tim, hey man, it's in your region up there, brother.
That's it. It definitely is, man. It is. But I think that's
you think Tim would behave the same way as Mike Iaconelli on the boat?
I would love to see Tim scream and holler and just go crazy when he catches a 4-pounder. Like, I'm talking, you can hear him across the lake.
There may be footage of something like that someplace. You never know.
I got to take Tim out there and do it. He hadn't won with me yet.
I told you, man. I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Nice. So how has the campus reacted to getting this club up and going, man? What's the vibe around campus about it?
Loving it. Loving it. I mean, I think from that first meeting we all had, the Dean Hanna, Dr. Clark, we're already all in on it. When I got involved, when Susan, who's our assistant dean for enrollment management, got involved, we just said this is a no-brainer to do. And now, there's a buzz about it, right? We've got website up, we've got a boat wrapped, we've got some publicity around it, and it's really starting to take on a life where on-campus people are talking about it and the community people are talking about it.
Very cool.
We had some initial folks fill out an interest form, and then we have others who said, how can I do this? Just had a guy who competed this past weekend, came in, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And said, yeah, I definitely want to do this. Great, sign me up,
Very cool.
So the buzz is there, and I think it's going to keep growing, and especially because we've really put the institutional commitment behind it to say we're not just doing this to check a box that we did it, but you've got the support both from the skill side of it, even from we were talking earlier, the financial side of it. I mean, at this point, our approach is your Bass Nation memberships, your team memberships, your uniform costs. We're covering that, and then
Fishing licenses.
that's awesome.
yeah, your fishing license, all of that kind of stuff, and then Coach here has done a great job talking to some sponsors and folks to whether it's financially helping out or discounts on equipment or donating equipment and gear, whatever it is, just to show that the community's all invested in this for these students, man.
No, that's awesome. And I think that, for the students, it's a great opportunity. Like you mentioned, whether you're a novice fisherman or somebody who's experienced, there's opportunities to get involved and learn in that. I wish I'd have had it when I went to FSU Panama City, but I still got my eligibility, so I could start taking some classes.
You
right?
are like, listen, you got 5 years. So actually, we had a student come in here a couple weeks ago, and Tim asked me, he said, "Hey, is there an age cutoff?" I said, "Not that I read anywhere." So I looked through the rules, and I called the national director. He said, "Let me get back with you." He said, "No, I don't see none." He said, "Is the angler still eligible?" I said, "He's never fished at the college level." He said, "Well, he's eligible for 5 years."
Heck
then.
yeah,
that's it. Learning
if you
is
guys let
lifelong.
elderly people fish in the club, man,
So
I'm gonna have to go back to school.
Never too late to get another degree.
And so it's kind of a sales point for us too, because like we have one student who's a senior.
Yeah.
And we were talking the other day, and I told him, I said, you're eligible to fish for 5 years, and being you're a senior, this is your first year. You still got 4 more years to fish. And he said, "Well, I'm going to go back and get my master's." I said, "There you go.
I already got my master's. Maybe I can get a doctorate or
There
something.
you go.
Or
You know
second
what I'm saying?
master's, or
That's it. You look, you got to be a
some
registered student.
continuing ed, something.
Go for it. Go for it.
Very nice. So when you guys are searching for your anglers, and I mean the folks that are going to end up doing the tournaments, are you recruiting for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have 2 anglers that are actually they're committed to us. They were seniors last year. We were hoping they were actually going to come to us, start with us in the fall, but they were both set up for JUCO level, not university level. So they were missing a few courses here and there. And we kind of found this out once we got into the admissions part of things. Because I didn't know. Like, I'm like, "Hey, you're starting a fishing team." Well, I'm running with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going.
Yeah.
I'm at these high school weigh-ins at the state level. I'm watching, and the director we had last year, David Driggers, these anglers would come across the stage. He would do like a little talk piece with them as they would come across the stage and weigh their fish in. And so he was like, "Hey, you guys are I think you're committed to LSUS, or you're committed to Auburn University, whatever it may be." Then you have some guys come across there that would have they weren't committed anywhere. They hadn't signed to go to college anywhere. And the bass fish, I mean, this thing is huge. But anyway, this one kid come across stage. I'm watching him, and he's about my size, So he stands out. He's a tall kid. He's 6'2", big build, super nice kid, kind of soft spoken. And he had a nice bag of fish he was weighing in, and he was fished by himself that day. And he placed, I think he was up in the top 10 that day. But anyway, he walked across the stage, and David was talking to him. He said, "Yeah, I'd like to fish the next level, but I haven't really pursued anything anywhere."
Yeah.
And so when he walked off stage, I'm there with my high school team. Well, I run over there and I run over and meet him behind the weigh-in trailer and talk to him. Well, here comes Mom and Dad. I think this guy's run up to him. So here comes Mom and Dad. Mom's all on the defense, and I introduced myself, and then it was like, "Oh wait, this is a college guy,"
Yeah.
So anyway, so this guy, hopefully he's starting with it. So hopefully that him and then the other kid will be starting with us I say kid, I mean they're young adults now, but hopefully they'll be starting with us in January. They've been cramming their classes in and got everything taken care of. We actually went to the high school bass fishing combine up in Decatur, Alabama, a few weeks ago, and that's put on by Bassmasters. 25 colleges get accepted to come into it. We actually got an invite to come, and really wasn't expecting a whole lot from it, just because we're a new school, new program, nobody knows who we are, But I'll tell you though, the Florida State name carries a lot of weight.
Yeah, for sure.
So in there again, our first time, didn't know what we were really looking at. So they had a meet and read on Friday night, and I took my wife with me, but she's the admissions person at the high school level. So she knows, man, different ways she can sell this program to people with GPAs and test scores and XYZ. So anyway, we're in there and we're meeting these students, whatever. And this one kid says, "Yeah, I think I got you guys at 8:40 tomorrow." I said, 8:40? He said, "Yeah." I said, oh, okay. Well, I kind of blew it off like, what is this kid talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, then 2 other students come by and say, hey, yeah, I got you tomorrow at 12:10. Well, anyway, so then somebody comes by and breaks, you bring just a piece of paper, and it's got time slots on this piece of paper. Every time slot from 8 a.m. until 2:40 p.m. was filled for Florida State.
To meet with you?
Yes. And they were
Wow.
20-minute time slots with
That's
no
cool.
break in between.
Wow.
And some of those time slots were actually double booked. And I met with 5 other students that we were their number one choice of college to talk with on that Saturday.
Oh, that's cool.
But we didn't make, so for some reason they didn't make the list. So kind of people that we are, we stayed until probably 5 o'clock that afternoon talking to students that weren't even on our list.
Yeah.
They might not have been there. But that's how you find your diamond in the rough.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep.
Now Tallahassee does not do a fishing team, do they?
They have a fishing club.
Okay.
And so they don't go compete at the national level like we're going, like our intentions are.
Okay. But they do have a club.
They do have a club. Yep.
Okay.
They've got jerseys, wrap boats, the whole nine. I mean, whenever I got a picture the other day of a guy was like, who is this? I'm like, I don't know. It was a Florida State wrap boat.
Yeah.
You know, and so I called the national director. I said, hey, I didn't think Tallahassee was doing one.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, well, they're not. He said, they have a club, but it's not a actual like a national deal like we're planning on doing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they have one. And I don't know how big their club is, but I know they've probably got 8, 10 anglers. I think is what they roughly have in theirs. But so we're hopefully to be the one to spearhead this thing and to do it.
No, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Where do you guys practice at?
It's kind of wherever, man. So really, so this past weekend, what we've done with our local tournaments is we're actually filing in with the Mosley High School, and so we've got the weigh-in trailer, we've got the whole deal, the waiver forms, the scales, everything is there. So we have our guys just get in the mix with our high school kids. They don't compete against them; they compete with them. You know, it's like a separate division. You see, we done this past summer. We done a thing called the Thursday night youth summer night shootout. We done at Deer Point Lake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to live up that way. We'd do the
what we
Wednesday,
done
Thursday, whatever it was.
Yeah. So what we done this year, we actually done the same thing. We had a junior division, which was elementary school up through 8th grade. Then we had a high school division, which was 9th grade through 12th grade. Then we had a college division, which was, because there again, we don't really know who all's in college, who's not in college. We done an age on that one. It was like 18 to 22 or 23 was our age cut off on the college age, and so we wanted to kind of see how it went moving forward into this fishing season. We knew we were wanting to incorporate Florida State with Mosley.
Yeah.
Because what better way to sell the program than to have them fish with high school students, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you've got everything there. Let them fish. And man, I want to do that. You know, so that was kind of our whole goal of setting that this summer that way. With actually one of our students who's actually committed to us at Florida State next year, Mason Daniels.
Yeah.
He's coming with us to fish. So his dad was a big staple in helping to get that thing set up this summer and to kind of incorporating everything in there. So as far as practicing goes, like we'll kind of go, we'll pre-fish. You know, if we have when we're fishing Eufaula, I'm sure our teams will be going up there a couple of weeks out, kind of getting around the lake. Fishing, that kind of stuff.
It's close enough you can get up there and practice.
Yeah. And there's actually, so when you get to the college level, there's official practice days, which the water will be off limits until 3 days before the tournament. Then you can pre-fish those 3 days, and the tournament day starts. Yeah. So it's kind of, you got some fine lines in there on the Strike King series. Now the Alabama Bass, College Bass Nation stuff, there's really not that, the rules are a little different on that one.
Yeah.
So there again, every division has its own set of rules, it seems like. So
and fishing here in Bay County, Florida, and around this area is so different than some of the lakes that you've talked about going to.
Oh yeah,
right,
totally different.
And so the style in which we fish around here, you know, it's hard to replicate that unless you go to those places, and that was part of why I asked, because it is so different. And I feel like there's always been a knock on local anglers until Drew Benton came along.
Yep.
That we couldn't compete at that level that way because we weren't accustomed to some of those things that you're seeing at other places. But Drew broke that mold, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you why Drew Benton's been successful. Drew Benton learned how to fish Lake Seminole, Deer Point Lake, and out of White City, our river system over there.
Oh, yeah.
Those 3 bodies of water have everything you go anywhere in the country.
Yep.
Deer Point Lake, does not have a shad spawn.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing but bluegill, things of that nature. It's not tidal. The water's kind of clear, clean, super grassy.
Cleaner than you think it would be.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you got our river system, which is all tidal.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got a brackish water. Then you can run up. There's a big, vast variety of stuff there. And then you got Lake Seminole, which has got your shad in it, your 30, 40-foot deep water.
Yeah.
Then it's got some shallow water. It's got stump field. It's got a lot of different stuff there. So, and that's what Drew had said. He said, why I was successful was I learned how to fish those 3 bodies of water.
Yeah.
Because I can fish anywhere in the country now.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what. So actually, when I sold our program at a recruiting deal, I kind of shared that story with a set of anglers, and they kind of liked that idea.
Nah, that's cool.
Yeah. Well, and think about it from the student perspective. If you're going to be able to fish the bodies of the water that are going to make you the best at this sport, or you're getting education at one of the top-rated institutions in the country, how can you go wrong?
No, it sounds awesome to me.
It's
Yeah.
fantastic. It's exactly what the hope with this is, right?
Yep.
Is that you're going to get to do something you love. You're going to leave there with a degree from a great institution, and it's going to propel you on to whatever else you want to do.
When it's so tied to who we are in this area too. I mean, our outdoors lifestyle. I mean, how do you think it reflects what we are as a community that way?
Yeah, I think it's this love, and you mentioned it, you know, when you came down here and, you know, got into the outdoor life, and certainly since I've come down and noticed the same thing, there really just is this connection, you know, to the outdoors, whether it's fishing, hiking, biking, just being at the beach, whatever it is, it's like few places I've seen where there truly is a connection to it, and it's deep rooted too. You know,
Yeah.
it's for generations. Folks have been involved in the outdoors, have been involved in these activities, and when you have the chance with students for them to come in and continue that, right?
Yeah.
Or if they haven't been exposed to it, to be exposed the first time. Our goal at FSU Panama City is that our institution, our programs, what we're doing is reflective of the needs of the community and of this region of this state. You
Yeah.
know, so what better way to do it than to continue to bring that love for the outdoors, the love for this sport, and just provide that opportunity for students maybe who haven't been enveloped in it to drink the Kool-Aid, if you will, and just jump in.
Well, and what's great about it is you're starting them at the high school level and even maybe beyond that. But you're doing that, and then they have the opportunity to go to FSU Panama City and continue fishing competitively in those clubs as part of that. And then from there, who knows where else? I assume that some of your fishermen have aspirations to go on to a
Oh, of
professional
course.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and what's really cool about Florida State Panama City is the small hometown feel setting. Like if you've never toured the campus, you need to go do it.
Yeah. It's
Because you
beautiful
have
there.
that small mom and pop feel. Like, I mean, you know, this guy here, when I go in his office, like, you know, everybody there that meet you, like you got students that may meet you at the doors, you come into it, they're all
Yeah.
just friendly. And I mean, this guy jumps through hoops trying to get, I mean, like to make stuff happen. But it's not just him, it's everybody there. I mean, when I went to the combine, you know, I went there and picked up a bunch of pamphlets and stuff to hand out, brochures to hand out.
Yeah.
You know, at the recruiting deal, and seriously, Brittany was there, and Miss Susan and the ladies and all, and they're all just like so balled in and just want to know all the little details about what was going on because they care about the school, they care about the program.
Yeah.
You know, and I've watched the miracles that Brittany and Susan work on the admission side of things. Is just you won't get that at a big university somewhere.
No, you definitely don't. I remember when I moved here and I ended up going back to FSU Panama. I went back to school to go to FSU Panama City, and I met the dean one day. And then the next time I saw him, he remembered my name and like, you know, like that's the kind of place this is, right? And
It is.
you know, I never expected that, but I was like, man, you remember who I was? You know, it's kind of cool. But it is. It's much more personal around here, I think. And,
It is.
You know, if that's the kind of thing you're looking for as a young angler, it's a great place to be. You know.
Yeah, when we say you're not going to just be a number, you'll be a name, you'll be a face that people know.
Yeah.
From the dean's office on down, you know, and make those connections for you, and that's going to help you in your co-curricular and extracurricular involvement. But I mean, academically, think about what that does, right? Your faculty are invested in you. Your staff are invested in your success. Where, you know, even if you miss class more than twice, we're gonna reach out. We're gonna find out what's going on. We're gonna check on you.
Yeah.
You know, to give that personalized small town touch. So you're getting all of, you know, the great things that FSU is and has to offer in this tight community and a package that's reflective of the region that we're in, and it's a pretty solid setup.
Yeah,
I'll tell
well,
you what, it really
I
is.
mean, your student to professor ratio is 11 to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's nice. I mean,
you
a
know,
lot of
obviously some are bigger,
personal
but you know,
attention,
the
yeah.
average is 11-1 is your average.
No, that's great. You know, relative to the club, are you guys having people come in and speak to the students, or like, you know, do things where they have training or any of
Yep.
those kind of things?
Yep. So North Florida Sonar, which is JJ and
Yeah, I know
JJ
JJ.
Locke and me, so
Yep.
dear friends of mine, that came on board as a sponsor this year, and they're
Awesome.
one of like our product sponsors, if you will.
Yeah.
So they're actually going to come down and actually do a do some courses with
Yeah,
all the
'cause
anglers
he's
of
up
how
in
to.
he's up by Eufaula
Yep,
now.
yep. He moved to Eufaula. I mean, it's honestly marketing for him is a lot better.
Yeah.
Humminbird's out of is out of made in Eufaula, Alabama. You got a huge lake up there, so like he'll get more business there than being in Panama City.
Yep.
Because there were guys dragging boats to him from all over the country.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he
So-
would tell me about it. It's
So now
crazy,
he's
but,
moved up
yeah.
there, you know. And of course, he's always loved Lake Eufaula.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always been his heart is Lake Eufaula.
Yeah. I've had some good days there, man. It's it's a good place.
Yeah, so he's but they're going to come in. They're going to actually do some courses with our anglers and like how to read electronics, how to
Yeah, that's awesome.
troubleshoot things of that nature. So you know, and then we'll have got some other guys that's talked about that they would come in and talk with our anglers like before we go to these bigger tournaments and kind of give them some pointers. You know, some guys at the professional level.
Yeah.
You know, because Panama City, but we do have some professional guys that live here in the mix that you really don't know about.
Yeah. No, it's pretty awesome. Well, and there's you know, even beyond bass fishing, there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people who can talk to them about just fishing in general and life things and all
Oh,
that
exactly.
too. So it's pretty awesome. So what kind of things do we need to do to continue to develop to turn into a national powerhouse in the fishing world?
Man, honestly, it's, you know, the community get behind us is 100. You know, we need the community behind us. You know, we didn't sell a lot of sponsorships this year, but we have a small team, so we weren't really seeking out the sponsorship stuff on the financial side a whole lot. We kind of put it out there and kind of got what we could get type deal. But obviously, after going and seeing the interest that this program has, I think this thing's fixing to explode and be huge.
That's awesome.
Just because of the feedback we got from anglers. I mean, we got guys from New Jersey. I talked about Mike Iaconelli a while ago.
The Jersey fisherman, man,
So-
I'm telling you.
So Mike Iaconelli's son, Vegas, his fishing partner at the high school level actually met with us 3 different times at the combine.
Nice.
So he had a lot of interest coming to Panama City and being part of Florida State Panama
Yeah.
City bass team.
That's awesome.
So, you know, it's guys like that that's like, man, this thing is, you got guys from New Jersey, you've got guys from South Carolina, Texas, I mean, all over the place that are wanting to come here, be part of this program to go fish. So, yeah, I think as far as the marketing side of it goes, I mean, really, the name sells it.
Yeah.
We want to be as good as we can be. We've got some really good anglers that are committed to us to say, hey, I'm going to come fish for you guys and get an education. So I think as a community, we need to support those anglers, support this program. Really, you know, I don't know as far as the
So
size.
if somebody in the community wanted to get behind the team and the club and support it, Tim, how do they reach out to y'all about that?
Yeah, so they can contact either one of us is fine. I'll give you my email right now is tk23y at fsu.edu. Phone number is 850-701-2190.
Yep.
Reach out, give a call, shoot an email, and that can be anything. That can be, you know, wanting to, yes, be a sponsor or contribute financially. If your business is looking to get involved in some capacity, if you just want to, you know, support the program in general, support the university in general, you know, reach out. Again, the community being behind this program is what's going to keep it going. You know, as simple as saying when at Christmas dinner somebody says, oh, you know, I know somebody who's interested in bass fishing, they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
I do.
No,
Just tell them.
that's awesome.
Any way they can help. Absolutely.
Now, if anybody out there is interested in being involved in the program, I'm sure if they reach out to any of the three of us, you know, we'll get
absolutely.
we'll get you connected to where you need to.
100%.
That's a great thing for the community, and you know, I'm very eager to see where it goes. What is in year one? What does success look like to you guys? Like if you look back and you say, all right, we did this and this, that was a successful year.
You know, I think that if we can go, I mean, so what we have on our team currently is all students they were just enrolled at Florida State whenever this program started. So there's zero recruiting been done for what we have currently. So I think if we can take these guys and go out there and we can go compete and we can get, you know, obviously we want to win every tournament we fish. You know, is that realistic? it's a possibility, you know. But I think that year 2, I think we're on the board now.
Yeah.
I think because here, and I say that because we've got the anglers we do have. Honestly, they're really good. We went and competed at Deer Point this weekend, and the 2 teams that went and competed at Florida State, I think one of them had fished on Deer Point one time. Well, one of them got a 6th place finish. The other one got a 9th place finish out of 30 boats.
Yeah.
So had never been on that body of water. You know, it's tough.
And that's a different kind of body of water.
It's a different
man.
body of water. Yeah. Especially no rain in the last month. The water was still.
Yeah.
The water wasn't moving. You know, you're in that fall pattern where your fish are kind of in that transition period. So like it's difficult to figure them out. And
it's a
I was
deceptive
pleased.
lake because it's clear, but it looks dark because
Yes.
the bottom is dark. I mean, it's deceptive.
Yep.
You know.
Well, you know, and like it's kind of funny because Tim he went to texting me Saturday night. Hey, Dean Hanna wants to know how the students done today. How'd they do? Where they finish up at? Like he was.
No, he's invested.
He was, you know, and like this was just a small threw together. Like it's our local tournament. It's like it's nothing big, but I wanted to see how these anglers competed against everybody else in the mix of it, you know. And so I was pleased with what they done. And I told them, I felt like, and I found out too that one of the teams, they don't have electronics on their boat. They were just fishing off instinct.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, okay, we can work with this.
Yeah.
There's a lot we can work with right here on this for sure.
Yeah.
That's pretty good though to do good without any kind of electronics at all. Yeah.
I mean, especially on that. I mean, not the Deer Point's got a lot of different transition stuff in it as far as bottoms go, whatever. But you still got to know and read the line. I mean,
I love fishing without electronics.
I do. You know? I do too.
Like I feel like it's just more natural and real. We went to Brazil about a year and a half ago, and none of those boats had any electronics on them at all. And man, it was so amazing just to like the guide was putting us in places that he just knew things, right? And I learned a little bit of Portuguese, so I understood about 10% of what he said.
Yeah.
But to be able to fish that way, you don't get a lot anymore because of the electronics.
Yeah, I was so anti forward facing sonar, and like I had a Helix 9 on my bass boat. Like I saw when we got side scan, like we're good.
Yeah.
And you know, we go compete and we go look at these guys that are fishing, these guys that are winning, they've got everything on there.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
And I'm like, you know, and so we go compete against these guys, and I'm seeing how they're fishing, where they're fishing at, and realize that if you don't have it, you're behind.
Yeah, you're
you know,
a big disadvantage.
And it's not that it makes you a better angler, but it cuts down on your blind, you know, looking for that, looking for something, you know, because you kind of, okay, they're here, they're not here.
Well, especially if you don't fish a body of water often, like to be able to figure a body of water out, I mean, you got to have it. And, you know, like, especially nowadays, you kind of have to. And then you got to have a guy like JJ teaching you how to read it and all that.
So actually, this year, I just put the new Humminbird Explorer series on my boat, put one on the bow, put one on the console, put the Mega Live 2 on. So I got all the little fancy stuff now that Humminbird's got out. And I tell you something, man, it is insane at the clarity of how that stuff looks. Now, does it make you catch more fish? No, because we've done better whenever we we just couldn't find a big bite this weekend, you know. We caught fish all day, but honestly, Deer Point's a lake that you don't use that kind of stuff in a lot because it's so grassy. It's not real deep, you know, but whenever you fish that big, like you follow, for example, like if you don't have electronics on you follow, like it takes you 4 or 5 days to figure out where those fish are and what they're doing, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, I think it's kind of and that's like I was talking to that one team that didn't have it on there. And I said, look, you're probably going to need this stuff just for the mapping side of it when you fish these big bodies of water. And so, you know, luckily the Humminbird has a collegiate program where you can, they give you a discount code for your college anglers if you supply for it and everything else. So they're kind of they've kind of come on board with us a little bit, kind of helping us out with this program stuff. So not 100% sponsorship on that, but it's open to all your college guys. You know, Bill Carson does a great job with his college programs with Humminbird and, you know, with the Johnson Outdoors, Humminbird and Minn Kota stuff.
Very cool. Awesome. So if you had to pick one location that would be a bucket list place to take these college students to go fishing, where would it be?
Oh, man, there's so many. I would probably say Lake Fork, just because I want to go to Lake Fork. Yeah. Lake Fork has got some hammers. Now, it's hard fishing, but I'd probably say my second choice would be I'd probably say I'm an Okeechobee fan. I love Okeechobee.
Oh, yeah,
The Big
Okeechobee's
O's where it's
awesome.
at.
Yep.
And I'm kind of excited to see that actually our first one, our Strike King, our first tournament is on Okeechobee in January.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep.
Very cool. Well, you
Yep.
get to go there then. That's awesome.
Yep. So I'm actually going to my high school team, the team that I coach. We're actually going down there in December for the high school Bassmasters deal. So we're going down there in December, and then I think we're down there again in March. So I hadn't been down there in 2 years. So I may make it 3 times this year down there.
Lake changes, like it's funny, like going there and then going back later if you don't fish it often, like the stuff around there changes.
Yeah. Well, not to get on the soapbox here, but when they spray the grass, they're destroying all the lakes, like down that area. They spray them. They're spraying. I understand the grass is out of control, but they've sprayed it so much. Like last time I was down there fishing, I went down to a place called the Tin Barn. It's on the south end of the lake, south of Clewiston. It's a big deep hole. The dynamite hole's right there by it. And so I had my kids with me. They were like, I don't know, my kids were little. And we're running out there. I'm like, we're going to go there. It was hot, summertime. We're going to go in this little deep hole. We're going to catch some fish. Man, I turned that boat and I made that turn out of the rim canal into the dynamite hole. And it was just like I was looking out in the Gulf of Mexico.
Wow.
And it used to, like, you couldn't see the lake from there.
Gosh.
It was just a square hole that was deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And all the lily pads were gone. Everything was gone.
Man,
the
crazy.
water was just stagnant. We had to run up to the north end of the lake to get in some grass.
Yeah.
So, I understand that there has to be some kind of a herbicide management to get the grass down, but it's a little overkill sometimes.
Yeah,
too, I
some
think.
kind of compromise on that.
And of course, again, you'll have a million comments on this thread just from what I said right there from people that are like, they're destroying the lakes and everything else,
I mean, people feel strongly about it, but I think the people that fish it maybe feel a little differently than some other folks about it, But when you go down, I hope you do great down there, man.
I appreciate it.
That's a lot of fun to go down there and catch at Okeechobee, especially when it's right.
Oh, yeah. When it's right, it's fun.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Awesome. Well, before we wrap up today, do you guys have anything else that you want to add and say to the audience before we wrap it up today?
Man, I appreciate you letting us come on the show and talking about this. It's really, this is what I've always enjoyed doing. I've been an outdoors guy. I can talk about Coach Chester, earlier, and he's been a staple to this thing. And honestly, I feel like that, our superintendent and our school district at Bay District Schools has really, opened the door for this to happen. To now it's happening at Florida, even though it's not tied together. But if we never would have started this at Mosley, we wouldn't be here at Florida State doing this
for
now.
Sure. For sure. You've definitely, the blueprint is there.
Yeah. So hats off, man, to this community. Hats off to our district for making this happen for us. So I appreciate you guys.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Guys,
thank you very much, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for what you do in the community, and I can't wait to see where it goes. I'm excited to see where you guys end up a couple of years from now, and us beating major colleges across the country. Man, it's going to be fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it was kind of intimidating going to that combine and seeing all those big trophies up there. So
well, look, we're
gonna get our own next year. Hopefully, we'll have our own trophies up there.
Awesome.
We're FSU, so you know what we say, right?
We'll have to check back with you soon. So yeah,
go Noles.
Awesome. Well, that's another one of the live we'll here for Between Two Rods. And if you enjoyed the episode today, please smash that like button. Whether your adventures end up in a trophy catch or a bird's nest of misadventure, it's going to be a great story one way or the other. Thank you for tuning in.